On this week's show, we're talking about what Solo can do at the box office and what Boba Fett may be up to next in the Star Wars saga. Is the time right for Battlefield to shake their Call of Duty demons? And how can you make and how can you make the better burger? And how can you make the better burger? All this and more as we reach our next stop, the PCC multiverse. Hello, everyone, and we are back once again with the PCC multiverse. This is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source. We truly appreciate you being here each and every time you listen to our show. But it wouldn't be a PCC multiverse without my good friend. He is the man, the myth, the legend behind Humanica Media. You gotta check out all the great shows Humanica Media is presenting today by checking it out on humanicamedia.com, plus also all of their great shows and their great channels on Podbean, YouTube, and so many other different outlets. It's the man himself. It is Josh Peterson. What's up?
Hey, just wrapping up this Thursday night with some good podcasting and a clear Gerald Glassford tonight because your computer's not all wigging out, man.
Not right now, but don't say that. Don't jinx it, man. Don't jinx it.
Wait, look, hold on. Wood desk. All right, we're good.
All right. Golden Girl shirt on. I'm telling you, man, you're rocking it proud. Just there you go, man. Just there you go.
We're good, man. Let's get this show on the road,
I hear you. 4 hours of trying to piece together whatever I can to get this show underway. Believe me, it's definitely fun right now for me. But it's going to be a great show we have for you today. We've got Ben Arnault from the Smoking Hot Confessions podcast. He's going to give some insight tips on how to grill and also make the better burger. He's got some interesting ideas, not only for everyone out there that loves to grill this Memorial Day weekend, but also as well, some great ideas as far as making burgers for the kids and how to get them to eat their veggies. He is coming along the way with all those ideas here in a few, plus also as well, Hunter Ferris from Song Appeal, the podcast, also as well, songappeal.com. You got to check out all of his great stuff there today. He's going to be stopping by to talk more about some of the thoughts and feelings behind the music of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Our good friends at the TV Ratings Guide, Jessica Boggs, and our good friends from the TV Ratings Guide also returns later in the show. They're going to be talking more about what happened with the upfronts and filling us in on another couple more networks like CBS and Fox and basically they're going to break down exactly what they liked and didn't like about what those networks did. And if we have time, we're going to be bringing you another segment of the Cosmic Crossfire with Rob McCallum. We just dropped a full episode of the Cosmic Crossfire this week, and you can check it out on not only on our Pop Culture Cosmos Podbean channel, but so many other different outlets as well. But Josh, I got to tell you, it is a great weekend I have been looking forward to for a long time, and I know you have as well. It is Memorial Day weekend. Solo, a Star Wars movie, is out in theaters, and I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait to see it. I'm actually going to be heading into the theaters for it, getting my tickets on Monday, going to see it then. I wish I could see it sooner, but just things are not going to be able to line up for me. What are your thoughts on Solo, a Star Wars film, a Star Wars movie, and basically what do you think it will do when it comes out this weekend? This Memorial Day weekend?
I don't know, man. I keep thinking about this. I've actually been thinking about this a lot today because Solo is tracking pretty low right now. It's tracking so low that let's see what I did there.
Pardon the pun.
Actually, there's no like right segue for that. So that's actually a dead end joke for me. But anyways, yeah, I want to see it. Amelia, I've been reading a lot of interviews with Amelia Clarke, and like she seems to think it's a good movie, and she also thought Terminator Genesis was a bad movie. So I trust her. I feel like we could be friends. And then but Deadpool and Avengers are still doing pretty well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that translates. But it's a Star Wars movie, so I think that Rotten Tomatoes rating aside, it's still going to do pretty well, and people are going to go. If anything, people are going to go see it just to bash it. So I still have high hopes for Solo. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Have you been keeping up with any of the news articles?
I have been. It is tracking around the same as Deadpool 2. They're both around 70% on Rotten Tomatoes and also Metacritic as well. They're both getting pretty good ratings, but not great. I will tell you, I saw Deadpool 2 this week and was not impressed. It is a clear downgrade from the original. Hopefully, if I get the opportunity as well, I can share some thoughts in written form on our popculturecosmos.wordpress.com site. But I was clearly disappointed. It did tell a little bit better narrative than the first, but the big laughs are not there. And I guess the best parts of it were actually after the credits, which is kind of disappointing for me. I will say Domino was, of anybody, the most interesting aspect as far as the characters are concerned, and even Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, even in this larger unleashed form, still unfortunately couldn't get it done with the jokes because they were mostly, if they were hits, they were only like singles this time. There was no laugh out loud moments for me, and I was kind of disappointed with that. But be that as it may, it's still going to be tracking about $60 to $70 million. Meanwhile, Solo is tracking anywhere from $130 to $150 million, which, like you said, is so low for the Star Wars franchise movies since it's been purchased by Disney. I mean, that's still, these are first world problems, because if it comes out to $130, $140 million type opening domestically and $300 million worldwide, that still is a pretty darn good start for Solo. I see a lot of, I'm just excited for it. I see a lot of good things for it here along the way. I think it will track okay. I think it will have the legs. I think it will actually have better legs than Deadpool 2, because like I said, I think the word of mouth with Deadpool 2 is that it's not as good as the first one, and we're already seeing some declining numbers because of that as compared to the first one. Still, you've also got Avengers Infinity War out there still, packing in the mileage as it tries to inch closer and closer to $2 billion. So there's a lot of competition out there, but it's also great for movie fans that they have this kind of selection with all this pop culture, sci-fi, and also superhero stuff that's going on out there. So it's very interesting to see what happens. I do know as well, with the Solo movie, the Star Wars anthologies are far from done. I know Rob and I talked about our preferences for a Lando versus Obi-Wan, and that we liked both, but we kind of like to see a Lando more, but Obi-Wan is still be very welcomed by us. I think Obi-Wan is in kind of like a pre-production stage at this point, and it was just confirmed this past week as well that a Boba Fett movie is now gearing up. They're getting writers being attached to it, and they're trying to see what they can come up with as far as a Boba Fett movie. Now, to me, I think a Boba Fett movie, even though he's very cool and a lot of people out there still kind of dig him and they love that idea, it still probably, to me, will track even less than a Solo movie with the way the Solo movie is going to be performing this weekend. Your thoughts on the Boba Fett possible movie coming to light as far as being another movie in the Star Wars anthology series?
Okay, so remember back when they first announced Solo, and I said I didn't really care that much about seeing a Han Solo film? Well, do you know who I care even less about seeing in a Solo film? A little bounty hunter named Boba Fett. He's a one-off character for me. He's like, oh yeah, it's kind of cool. He's got a jetpack and stuff. But I honestly could give no craps about Boba Fett at all. Like he's not. I saw his origin story in Attack of the Clones. I don't need to see anymore. I don't care what happens to him after the Sarlacc, and I don't care what's going to happen to him. I just like he's just one of those characters. It's like when people say, "I hope maybe one day there'll be a Yoda movie." I don't care. No, I just like there's enough. I have enough ill will towards Star Wars right now. Like I don't even want to waste my time. Solo looks cool, but like to be completely honest, I will not go see a Boba Fett movie. Like, maybe I'll check it out on Netflix when it comes out, but it's not something I'm gonna go to the theaters for.
I think of the movies that have come out in recent times, Rogue One and a Boba Fett for me are probably the least interesting to me. I know after the divisive thoughts and opinions on The Last Jedi that just came out, I know it's going to be it's going to be tough sledding for Solo in its first weekend, but I think it'll win over some fans. I think it's going to prove out to be hopefully a little bit better than everyone is making it out to be. I know, like I said, it's had its share of issues and concerns with directors being fired, Ron Howard coming in, actors being replaced, et cetera, et cetera. But I still think that Solo will perform admirably this weekend and going forward and be something that the Star Wars series can still be thought of nicely as far as a series is, when we're talking about a series as a whole. So I don't know. I just Boba Fett, like I said, it doesn't do the trick for me either. But I know he has like that niche audience that just goes gaga anytime Boba Fett is mentioned, or if he's put in in the Battlefront game, or just any type of situation where he gets announced. There's that small niche of people out there that just are just crazy about Boba Fett and just will clamor to this 100%. Will it translate to a general audience? Will it even translate to a casual Star Wars audience? I'm not so sure on that. If Solo doesn't connect with audiences, I'm not sure Boba Fett will as well.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I don't see that. Like there's nothing interesting. Like, okay, so people like to see the Star Wars stuff. I think mostly for like the supernatural stuff. They like to see the Force, like to see the lightsaber battles. Han Solo and Rogue One were interesting because they're legacy characters, and they're so you're more invested in them. But Boba Fett was literally just a side character. He's a blip on the radar, and he didn't even have he barely said maybe like 4 or 5 lines through the entire movie, the entire original trilogy. So I don't know what the obsession is with him, or why, like, he's got a jetpack, but like that's all, as a kid, that's the only reason I thought he was cool at all, was because he had a jetpack. But like, looking at him now and as an adult, I'm thinking to myself that he's sort of lame. So I don't know, man. I don't understand the obsession. I'm already to be completely honest, I'm exhausted of Star Wars. Like I don't even care anymore. I'll go see Solo and I'll go finish off this trilogy, but after that, I don't even know if I'm gonna bother going to see these. They might just be things that I'm gonna wait until Netflix or Redbox or whatever to check out, because I just don't see any point in going to it.
Not even if the Mace Windu film comes out?
Well, I mean, only if if the Mace Windu plot revolves around him getting snakes off of a spaceship, then I might think about it.
And he can use explicit language. An R-rated Star Wars film. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. Yes, an R-rated Star Wars film, and just an arm, the Mace Windu. What is he? He was missing an arm or something, right? Yep. So he'll be just handling snakes with one arm, and he'll be shouting expletives. And,
you said handling, man. Handling. Got it.
Poor choice of words. And then in the end, after when he'll like fall off the plane, and then someone will go and pick up a little pager, and it'll have the symbol for Captain Marvel on it.
There you go. Those tie-ins are everywhere. But Solo does come out in theaters this weekend. We're definitely looking forward to seeing that one. Beyond it, it's kind of up in the air. A Boba Fett movie we're not so high on, but we'll have to wait and see. I would thoroughly enjoy a Lando or Obi-Wan movie. I think those two would really have some kind of style and panache because of the lead actors that play them. But a Boba Fett movie, like you said, to me is kind of lacking. So it would have to have a lot of other characters that are central to the plot that really enhance that whole movie. So we'll have to wait and see. But Solo does hit theaters this weekend. We're excited for it. Are you excited for Solo? And are you going to check it out this weekend? Share us your thoughts. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. Also as well, Pop Culture Cosmos, Humanity Media, and Game Source on Facebook and Twitter as well. Well, like I said, we're going to have a great show for you today. We've got Ben Arnault from the Smoking Hot Confessions podcast. He's going to be stopping by with giving you tips on how you can build the better burger this Memorial Day weekend. Also as well, Hunter Ferris from Song Appeal, the podcast. He's going to be stopping by with his thoughts, continuing on the music of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The TVRatingsGuide.com, they're also standing by later in the show with their thoughts on CBS and Fox during the upfront season. And also, hopefully, if we have time, Rob McCallum in the Cosmic Crossfire. He's got some thoughts on the world of pop culture like no one else. If you get a chance also as well, check out our site, popculturecosmos.wordpress.com. We've got a lot of great stuff going there to their articles, reviews. Also, our latest uploaded episodes from the Pop Culture Cosmos channel are going up there as well. So check that out. So, hopefully you'll get a chance to check that out as well. Let's see. All this and a whole lot more. So once again, thanks for joining us again. As always, we truly appreciate it. This is the PCC Multiverse. But coming up right after the break, it's Ben Arnault and from the Smoking Hot Confessions podcast. He's going to be talking about how you could build a better burger. This is the PCC Multiverse. Coming up right after the break, it's Hunter Ferris from the Song Appeal podcast telling us more about the music of the MCU. This is the PCC Multiverse. Coming up right after the break, it is the folks from the TV Ratings Guide with the updates on the upfront season for CBS and Fox. This is the PCC Multiverse. Coming up right after the break, it is Rob McCallum in the middle of the Cosmic Crossfire once again. This is the PCC Multiverse. And we're back to close out the show. This is the PCC Multiverse. Just want to make sure and let you know our shows are being streamed 7 days a week on online radio and that we deliver 2 brand new shows covering the latest in pop culture every Monday and Friday to Apple Podcasts or over 30 different podcast networks. Just subscribe to any one of them on the Pop Culture Cosmos channel to get extra content, to get our shows and extra episodes as well, or just check out the Pop Culture Cosmos Facebook page for our entire radio schedule and a list of those podcast networks. Don't forget, for the best in barbecue, like I was talking about with our good friend Ben Arnault, check out the sauces, rubs, and seasonings from wheelieq.com. And don't forget the discount code POD2, that's POD2, for 15% off your order at checkout. Josh, I know you got a great thing going on with Humanity Media, so give me the latest, my friend. What's going on with your great experience known as Humanity Media?
Oh, just so much. Let's see. There's a new episode of Topicocalypse went up on Sunday night. Monday. No, it went up on Monday for sure.
You almost did that in song. On Monday.
Well, that's weird because we talk about childhood fears on this episode, and my childhood fear is actually a giant singing blue Bible. So you should definitely tune into that. That'll give you nightmares.
I was never made aware of this blue Bible until you showed a picture of it on social media, and I got nightmares.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying that, like, this is the reason that everyone is so careful with their kids these days, is because of giant blue Bibles named Salty. And then also there's a new episode of Super BS that goes up tonight. And then
Does that involve a blue Bible as well?
no, that just involves some Dream 3 E3 dream predictions. So it's not really any like serious predictions, just if we could dream it and make it happen, those are our predictions for E3. And then other than that, that's really it. It's kind of a slow week over here at the Humanican Media offices.
Fair enough. But you can also catch all the great things on Humanican Media on their YouTube channel, but also check out their shows, the Super BS Gamescast and Topicocalypse, on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and over 30 different podcast outlets, including selected episodes coming to the Pop Culture Cosmos channel on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, and so many other outlets as well. So we're going to be trickling them in hopefully over the next few weeks or so, and you'll be catching those as well right there. That's awesome. Awesome. Good stuff, man. Just love it indeed. All right, man. So we're going to close out the show with our thoughts on the Battlefield, the latest Battlefield to hit the airwaves, and that's going to be Battlefield 5. It came, well, Battlefield V, Roman numeral, yeah. But Battlefield 5 did get its debut as far as a full trailer, all the modes and everything that's going into it. They weren't opposed, just like everybody else is, to eventually adding on a Battle Royale mode, which they didn't right up front like Call of Duty did the previous week. But they did mention, obviously, a story, a big, huge expanse of multiplayer. I thought it was a good debut, a good trailer, but I wasn't as impressed as I was when Battlefield 3 came out. There were some trailers leading up to that release that really impressed me there, but this was not too far behind. Comparing it to Call of Duty, I was actually more impressed with the Battlefield 5 than the Call of Duty scenario that was announced the week prior. So I ask you, Josh, now that you've seen both the Call of Duty announcement and what they're lining up, and the Battlefield 5 announcement and what they're lining up for this holiday season, can Battlefield finally, and I mean finally, get over the hump and shake those Call of Duty demons once and for all, and actually move ahead of Call of Duty this holiday season?
I think so, because Battlefield is keeping its campaign intact, and it's co-op, and that's something a lot of people have been wanting for a while. You can't do that. Not only can you not do that with Call of Duty, but Call of Duty doesn't have a campaign. But other than that, like, their Battlefield actually looks fun. You know, I watch Call of Duty and it just looks, oh, like there's another multiplayer game to play. There's another battle royale mode. It's not really something I'm interested in. Whereas Battlefield has always had my goodwill for a long time. Whereas Call of Duty, I'm over it. I don't care at all. So Battlefield is something I'll definitely check out. And I know, like, a lot of the people that, like Brett, for example, did the E3 prediction cast with, like, he's a huge Battlefield fan. So he's more than stoked to play this game. And a lot of people I know who like that genre are really into Battlefield. So I think that people aren't happy with Call of Duty, and this could be their Battlefield's opportunity to kind of capture the audience that will more than likely be abandoning Call of Duty come this holiday season.
I miss the falling skyscrapers, man. I do miss the falling skyscrapers.
Ooh, yes. Who doesn't?
But that was when Battlefield 3 was out there. It was really just, I think, one of their highlights of the series. Battlefield 5 could go along with that. Battlefield 1, which is the Battlefield World War I, which was the previous entry, that was actually a step in the right direction as well for the series. I thought that was actually something pretty good. A lot of people got behind it and liked that direction that it went in. This is now going into a World War II scenario, and it does seem to be getting a lot of favorable press and favorable wording online and social media because of the fact, like you said, it will include a campaign, a co-op one at that. Obviously, the multiplayer aspects have always been there for it. I think it's actually been, for me, a lot better and a lot easier to get into because it's more expansive. The maps are larger, and actually the scale of fighting seems to be a lot more extensive and a lot more expansive at times as well. I personally like that aspect instead of the close quarter action that I did like for a while in Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, but have not really liked since. Every time I've tried to get back into Call of Duty, haven't really fallen in love with it. I do like the expansive, large-scale battles that Battlefield can have, so I'm hoping this will continue that pattern. And obviously, they are going to be looking at maybe adding a Battle Royale mode because the program director, I believe, was on the record for saying in the press today, this past week, that a Battle Royale mode is on the table and that it is not something to be discounted upon for an add-on at some point in time. So we'll have to wait and see, especially with more Battle Royales coming in each and every week. And seemingly H1Z1 that recently became that recently got the green light on PS4 this week, and that's done pretty darn good numbers. So it's something to see. The Battle Royale genre is really right now hot and heavy. Everybody seems to be wanting a piece of it. We obviously we've seen Call of Duty now in its latest installment coming later this year that it's going to be added on. And I know Battlefield 5 has said that they're going to be looking at it as well. Be that as it may, you really think that Battlefield 5 could see success and could see an actual leap over as the number one, first-person shooter out there with the battle motif on it. So that's good. That's good news out there for gamers. If that's the case, that there is a sign that Battlefield could succeed Call of Duty finally after so many years of trying. They've been that Pepsi to Coke when it comes to the first-person genre of Call of Duty. They've been that Pepsi to Call of Duty's Coke in the first-person shooter genre. So it'll be interesting to see how it falls in place this holiday. But I hear you, man. I agree with you 100% that Battlefield could actually come out on top, but I think they'll both take a backseat to Red Dead Revolver 2 because it was confirmed by Take-Two's president that Red Dead Redemption 2 will not be delayed again.
Right. Honestly, like anything that's coming out in, a span of 6 months of that game is just not going to do so well. Even with Battlefield and Call of Duty releasing, I want to say before Red Dead comes out, it's still, the moment that game comes out, people are just going to put their controllers down. So it doesn't, it doesn't matter. It'll be an interesting experiment for gaming studios, that's for sure. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't care about Call of Duty, honestly. Like I'm over it because I don't feel like I have much of a say in a franchise that I don't really pay much attention to. But Battlefield, I will more than likely be picking this one up.
That's good news for indeed. That's good to hear that you're going to be going into the Battlefield series this holiday season. Could it mean that more people are going to get into it as well? So much so that it will actually finally become number one in the first person shooter war genre ahead of Call of Duty. We'll have to wait and see, but I actually say there's decent money on Battlefield coming out on top. But like I said, it's all up to the gamers out there. You let us know. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. Which are you targeting this later this year? Is it Battlefield 5 or is it Call of Duty? Is it the latest Call of Duty? Just let us know. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com, popculturecosmos, Humanica Media, and Game Source on Facebook and Twitter as well. So, Josh, we've come to another end of a great episode. Want to thank Ben Arnaud from the Smoking Hot Confessions podcast, Hunter Ferris from Song Appeal, the TV Ratings Guide. Always love it when they're on our show. And Rob McCallum, always again, and Ron McCallum, please support his great project, Galaxy Hope, on Kickstarter. There's only a few days left. That's Galaxy Hope on Kickstarter. Any last thoughts on the way out? Because I know on Monday's show, we're going to be talking about how Solo performed, the aftermath of it. And I also want to go ahead and talk about the rise and fall of Cliff Brzezinski, the most well known for the coming up and designing the Gears of War series, and someone who has fallen a little bit on hard times with his latest work, so much so that he's taken a break from the gaming series. But we're going to be dealing with that a little bit more on Monday's episode. But any last thoughts for this weekend, my friend?
No, not that I can think of. E3's coming up too, and you can check out our E3 prediction cast. But yeah, man, I'll be looking forward to the next episode.
As will I, my friend. As will I. So for Josh Peterson, this is Gerald Glassford. It's another beautiful day right here in the PCC multiverse. We thank you for listening, and here's hoping you have yourself a great